think the honorable thing for our species to do is deny our programming. Stop reproducing. Walk hand in hand into extinction. One last midnight, brothers and sisters opting out of a raw deal.
Do not trust any friends or family members. I repeat, do not trust friends.
He needs to step down.
Yeah. Step down, Chris. Wrong. Yeah. This isn't going to be on the podcast, but just in case. Wrong. Not the Chris that we know. Different. Let's just throw good Chris under the bus. Yeah. I need to make an announcement. Very important announcement. I have a sword, ladies and gentlemen, and it's incredible. It's so good to have a sword. Finally,
to be a sword guy.
Yeah. It finally happened for me.
I'm jealous, but in the same breath, I feel like being a sword guy, like, because I know what it's like to be one of these people, you know, because I'm a wrestling fan.
Right.
You know, you're on the outskirts
of acceptable behavior, you know, like like I belong in the four corner in the ring. Yeah, it does feel weird doing stuff with. I treat it like I train with it like it's a big knife, sort of, although it's obviously a sword. And it feels very strange. I worry that the neighbors are going to come out and like find me and start getting worried.
As well, that's possible. They should.
Yeah. I don't think so, though. I'm a responsible swordsman. I have my sword in a little silk thing right now.
It really goes to it. It goes hand in hand with like restricted firearms collection, John Cena fandom. It's all the same sort of. It's just a fringe group.
You have to keep it all under lock and key. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't talk about it at work. You know, that's for sure.
Being a John Cena fan, I wouldn't know.
No, see, or
being
a sword owner.
It might come up in like if I become friends with someone at work, I might just bring it up. You know.
Yeah, you should try to bring it up like I found out the other day, actually,
a staff meeting.
I'm not going to even say that. Yeah, staff meeting. But when you have one of those staff meetings and stuff, if you brought it up, they'd side eye each other.
I think so. Well, it's a really aggressive statement.
Says it's true.
Yeah.
But you're owning it.
I am. Yeah, no, and I think until I do that, until I announce my sword ownership at a staff meeting, I think I'm a coward. I'm afraid of the truth. I'm hiding from myself.
It's true. I think a lot of my work friends at work, they know that unironically, you know, I'm one of those people, you know, not a sword owner, but
right. You're a wrestling fan. You like the wrestling.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. Its pleasures are simple. Its pleasures are understandable. It's like going to a big clown show, but it is also.
And maybe everyone at work feels like there's something wrong with me a bit, but I think that's okay.
Well, you got to own it, man.
That's all I can do.
Anybody listening, you just got to own it.
There's nothing wrong. There's not a lot wrong with me.
Yeah.
I'm not saying there's anything wrong with you either.
I think that no, I think it's healthy. Man and his sword. It's fantastic.
A boy and his dinosaur.
Yeah. Or maybe a boy and a goblet of fire. Just maybe.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi everybody, Extinction Agenda, James and James. You're facing some trials and tribulations at the present moment. Is this correct, James?
You could say that. I have children that can't attend Hogwarts right now.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be fucking great? They just fucked off all semester. Dumbledore's problem. So I caught wind of the fact that I've been eating and breathing and sleeping this goddamn franchise because of the boy, and I'm not done reading all the books yet, but we're almost done the Half-Blood Prince, and I've seen most of the movies, and you led me to believe that you and your partner Kate are going through all the movies right now, and
she's also having a resurgence. She has these ludicrously large illustrated versions of the books that have been sort of slowly coming out.
Oh, right. Okay.
That I've got for her for years.
Right.
And she's got up to the Order of the Phoenix on them.
Okay.
And she only just started reading them. And the illustrations are pretty few and far between. It's just like reading them in a large format with, the odd little artist touch, once per chapter or whatever, something like that. Anyway, they're very beautiful. And she's made her way through the Goblet of Fire as well, but then has also started, like, now, because she's beginning to go live back inside the fandom, has brought the movies down upon us at home as well.
Yeah. So out of pity for your unfortunate circumstance and convenience for both of us, I said, you know what, man? Let's talk Harry Potter. Let's do the Goblet of Fire. I forget why I chose the Goblet of Fire. I think it's because you had been. I think you said you were watching it at the time. So I was like, okay, let's do that one. So I watched the Goblet of Fire for the first time. I don't remember having seen it before. I skipped like 3 of the movies, or around this period, and then picked it up at the back end. I don't know. I think I was butthurt about the existence of Harry Potter as a franchise at the time. I've come around.
Sense.
Yeah, I've come around to it significantly, having read the books. I don't think the movies really capture the Scooby-Doo mystery quality of the books. I might be wrong about that. Like, just because I could easily misremember. Like, I rewatched the first one prior to us talking today, and then also the Goblet of Fire. And one thing about the Harry Potter stories is it's a Scooby-Doo mystery. There's always some sort of like Nancy Drew element to it that is the driving force, like the kids have to uncover the mystery of what the fuck Lord Voldemort's up to.
Well, yeah, and there's always like something like, there's always like multiple problems, like on the running narrative too. Mm-hmm. There's things to fix and problems to be solved and mysteries going on, underhanded things happening, and there's a lot of avenues to go. Does this one have the time travel?
No, I think that's Prisoner of Azkaban with the because I remember being
sorry.
I remember being so fucking angry at the end of that book because for those who don't know, like Hermione gets this little amulet that lets her go back in time, and she's using it to like cram more schooling in. But in the end,
because any normal person would fucking do that.
Yeah. We should talk about like all these characters. But anyway, so I'm reading the book with Matthew, and I'm so fucking annoyed because like the second last chapter or the third last chapter is just all exposition, just people talking in a room, nothing's happening, and I'm like fuck, and I'm complaining to Matthew, and then she uses the time thing and goes back in time, and you see all the boring shit again, just from a different angle. And I was like, who let this happen? I was so upset. Anyway, no, the Goblet of Fire is it's got the Triwizard Tournament. It's got the Quidditch World Cup at the beginning.
Yes, very exciting things. And unfortunate things always happen to Harry right before school. He gets that. The movie has that great attack at the beginning from Dudley. Where's your mummy, Potter?
I think that's the next one, not this one, or maybe it's the one before. The Goblet of Fire that doesn't have any.
Into the Order of the Phoenix. Goblet of Fire doesn't. Does he? It doesn't. No,
there's
any of the.
Yeah, it's the only movie that doesn't have Privet Drive in it, apparently. Says
that's all my favorite
Wikipedia.
Stuff.
Oh, because the woman who plays the shitty aunt.
The shitty aunt, yeah, she's amazing.
She's so good. Yeah, I love the cast and all. Like, just like what a 10-star cast for this series, and like what a fucking waste I mean, like they're
every sort of tiny side part is played by like a heavy hitting British actor or actress. It's amazing. Like, because you get even like little bit parts, or like the screen presence is just commanded.
Yeah.
So that's one of the positive things about the movies, because I mean, like, as your core actors are aging, the Harry Potter, Radcliffe, and Emma Watson for Hermione, and Ron Weasley, I'm not sure about him. Anyway, they're still sort of like developing their craft, right? So all these other people, all the people that are playing the teachers and things, you're relying on them.
Yeah, that's a good point. And probably one of the reasons because this works like routinely and consistently. Like, it's such a well-oiled machine. Even when the movie's kind of loses my interest, it's very competent. Like, I was annoyed with some of the choices they made with the Goblet of Fire, to like the things that they cut or the way that they depicted certain things, but not too much. Not so I was like, oh, come on. I was like, I know why they didn't have Dobby. I know why Winky didn't show up.
They pulled Dobby in pretty hard later.
I think before and later, but not in this movie.
Later they have a really like the fandom has a very serious thing about his death.
Right. Oh no, Dobby's gonna die. That's sad.
Oh, come on, shit.
Oh, I don't care. Fuck.
Thought you were farther along.
Yeah, no, I just.
Spoiler. That's live on the air here.
Oh no, Dobby!
For you, son of a bitch.
That's fine. I'm tired of reading his fucking voice. Harry Potter, sir. Fuck.
Were you pleased with the first appearance of him in the movie then? Because he would have been in the third movie, right?
Yeah, but I don't remember. Sorry, man. It was a long time ago.
Harry Potter must not go to Hogwarts, school of witchcraft and wizardry. Anyway.
Yeah, it was 20 years ago, so kind of lost. I'm sure I'll see them all, eventually. So, okay, the cast. Radcliffe. I can't see Harry Potter as anyone else other than Daniel Radcliffe. Like, when I'm reading the book, that's another effect of these movies, is like reading the book, I can't. It's just all these people.
And I feel like that speaks to whatever casting department here. They really laid these guys on us at a perfect age, at a formative age, where they were going to basically grow perfectly into roles for schooling. They shot the movies at an appropriate pace so that they didn't overage on us, and they fucking nailed it. They squeezed every fucking movie and dollar they could have out of this, and they brought the cast along with you, and you can't help but think like those people are them. Yeah.
I mean, and like both Daniel Radcliffe and Emma Watson have gone on to have careers, I gather. I think I've seen some movies with Emma Watson post this, like they're not lost in the role. Like, when I'm watching the movie, I'm not. That's Hermione, and I think I have a little bit more with Daniel Radcliffe. I have a trouble disassociating Harry Potter with whatever, but other than the Weird Al movie, which I haven't seen, what's Daniel Radcliffe done?
He's in some horror movies. The Woman in Black was a big one for him.
Okay, I'm seeing that here.
He's done some horror stuff, but I don't know how much. The rumor is that they may be pulling him in as the Wolverine.
All right, whatever, sure.
Hey, I don't know, man.
Is this what we're doing now? Is this what we're fucking doing? I'd be okay. Obviously, I sound upset about this. I guess,
you know what?
It was bad enough that Robert Pattinson is
you with this. Yeah. With this. Yeah.
It's bad enough Robert Pattinson's Batman. We're gonna have to fucking Daniel Radcliffe as Wolverine. What's he gonna like, bub? No. I'm fine. Whatever. Okay. They can do whatever they want. I give up. I quit.
So cheesed.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the opening scene at this would have been the Quidditch World Cup, so they would have been in Weasley's tent, and then they just got attacked by Death Eaters. This was the first sort of this is a real terrorist attack.
Yeah,
so this is when the movies escalated for
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everything's all burnt out and stuff, and that was one of the changes between the book and the movie that I didn't care for. Like in the book, so Voldemort is like he's a racist. I mean, I'm not going to go so far as to say like he's a Hitler, but he's definitely like he's meant to be like associated with some sort of fascist or Nazi ideology. All that talk about mudblugs and purebloods and all that shit. And the Death Eaters in the Quidditch Cup, like in the book, they're more like soccer hooligans. They're not terrorists. I mean, obviously they're causing fear, but they're mostly terrorizing the quote unquote muggles, the regular human. And like my recollection is that, like, they don't burn down all the tents and everything. They just cause a massive disruption. Whereas it's a proper burning down in the movie. And there's the racist element sort of to the Death Eaters, but they're dressed more like the Ku Klux Klan.
Yeah, they really lay that on you in the movies.
Yeah,
they've got them hooded and masked.
Yeah,
and it's purposeful. It's unmistakable.
Yeah. I think the books are much more. I'm not going to say subtle in their approach to the issue, but it's just has a different, much more English bent, like where your neo-Nazis and your punks and your well, they're not really punks, are they? Because they're all like the aristocratic class or whatever. Yeah. The books are. Sorry, this is kind of off tangent, but maybe it'll help us get at something. Like the books really have bureaucracy is fucking useless. The aristocrats are racists, generally speaking. Like the establishment is either like outright evil / fascist or is completely self-serving and otherwise useless and shit scared to exercise or shit scared to face the truth. And is, sort of in the thrall of the aristocrats. And then, and then there's like, I don't know, racism and slavery in the society. And I'm not going to say it's adult, but it is like, it's more than just a little boy at a magic school who goes on an adventures, right? Like there's a big realized world here.
Yeah. And there's a lot of like underbelly themes like that are supposed to go, in some cases supposed to go over the heads of kids. Yeah,
I think so. I mean, again, I haven't seen all the movies or whatever. I don't know if it goes. Not sure if it goes over the heads of kids. I mean, I don't think. I guess I haven't asked Matthew if he's understood. But do you know about racism now, Matthew? So maybe you're right. But yeah, they hum along. Like I've obviously I was complaining about some extensive exposition, needless exposition in some sections, and some sections are a little boring, but generally speaking, I've a couple thousand pages in and I'm like, okay, I get it. I see why people read this. It hasn't really knocked my socks off, but it's pretty readable.
Yeah. It's got a smooth finish. A lot of, I don't know. There's a lot of characters, a lot of moving parts, and they do a good job. The movie, I don't think, does a lot. I liked this had actually Rita Skeeter in it, who had a much bigger role in the book.
Yeah.
And she's very problematic. In this, she was just sort of goofy.
Yeah, I guess that's another thing. Like the news is completely corrupt, and like an outlet for propaganda. Like it's got a real conspiratorial worldview behind it, which is common in popular fiction. And yeah, and just seeing plucky young kids dealing with it.
It's funny too because you say that, but the Ministry of Magic actually like denounces the fact at the end of this book that
Voldemort's back.
Yeah, Voldemort's back and kills Cedric at the end of the book. And Harry announces that that's what happened, and so does Dumbledore. And for some reason, the Ministry of Magic takes it upon themselves to just call them like whack jobs.
Yeah.
Like
yeah,
to take that approach.
Yeah.
Very odd, especially considering that he's like, I mean, it's understood that he's likely the most powerful wizard in the world.
Voldemort. He must not be named.
Dumbledore.
Oh, well. I see what you. Yeah. Yeah, but he's saying something, like, and that's another thing about these books. Like, if you say something unpleasant to polite society, it will cast you out. Like, maybe it ties into how the Dursleys deal with, they're always thinking of Harry as a freak, and they want to suppress his abnormality. The Dursleys are strangely the equivalent of the Ministry of Magic. Like it's a weird society, but they want to make sure that it's weird in a particular way, a way when everybody can be asleep and they don't have to think about racism and they don't have to think about neo-Nazis and the Dark Lord, right? And yeah, I don't like the Dursleys. I know I do like them as like cartoon figures or whatever. But yeah, I'm always annoyed when
the actor that plays the dad is phenomenal. When we have him, we didn't have him here. Like
yeah. I was trying to. I saw him in the first movie though. Like he's great, and I was looking for their names, but I can't. There's too many big names in this. So if I'm looking at the cast right now, and it's just like I might as well not be. Because it's just all of them. Anyway,
so Harry, he goes after he gets attacked by Nazis, he goes back to his regular school, the school shtick where we announce that there's a new Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher every fucking year, which is kind of almost like like you say, it's a Scooby-Doo-ish thing. It's like a funny thing. It's like you start the year, here's how you're gonna get fucked. Either this, and if this person, if it's in your favor that this person is going to be the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, then something else is going to go fucking terribly sideways.
Yeah.
If it's not in your favor, the person's going to be a nightmare.
Yeah, like fucking Lockhart.
He's a beauty.
Yeah. Who plays Lockhart in the? I guess it's Azkaban. Do you know off the top of your head? I'm not going to bother looking it up.
No, I don't know the actor off the top of my head, but
yeah, that's okay. I'm tempted to look. When did we lose? No, actually, I'll build off your Defensive Against the Dark Arts teacher. One of the things I'm enjoying about, and we're reading the Half-Blood Prince right now, and I love all those flashbacks into the memories and like how Dumbledore's recreating Voldemort's, Tim Riddle's history, right? Like trying to like figure everything out. I love that. This is one of my favorite books so far. Like nothing much is happening, but I'm really enjoying the detective elements to it. I think it's making me kind of laugh a little bit. I think the Goblet of Fire was like fucking 800 pages, just absurd. Like so much fat. And they cut this one down to 600, and it shows. I feel that it's a better book for it. Maybe I'll be disappointed with the ending or whatever, but I like learning about Voldemort. Even the bad guy gets a good backstory in this.
Yeah, this is I don't know. This one I've seen this movie a lot, and I remember the book, but I just I don't know if this is my favorite. I think it is maybe one of my favorites because I really like Ralph Fiennes at the end of the movie.
Oh, what, when he shows up as Voldemort for the first time?
Yeah, his first birth, when you really when they really drop him on you, and he's like, for whatever reason, I don't know if maybe he read the books or he's a fan or maybe he just felt all the British acting power around him or whatever, but he came out hot, like he was ready to roll. And he was taking the role very seriously, and he was I don't know how you felt. I felt giddy with excitement. He was so fucking on, you know.
Yeah I think well, this is the equivalent of this is the Star Wars of the age, and Harry Potter, like it's huge. This is a big stage for him to be on, and with yeah, you're right. All like the cast and everything, like everybody does such an excellent job in this. Ironically, the person who I feel did the worst job is the guy who plays Dumbledore. Richard Harris was fantastic, and this Gavin guy who died recently, or whatever his fucking name is, he sucked. Gambon. I
agree. Like him as Dumbledore. He was a real blow to the franchise for me, especially his first appearance in Prisoner of Azkaban, because Richard Harris had passed away after the second movie, and Richard Harris was so different, and he, you know, I don't Richard Harris was so fucking old also, but for whatever reason he just he commanded the screen, and I don't know if he was just playing himself. But he just felt like an old mentor. He felt like Dumbledore was supposed to feel, and this guy felt like he was replaced by a shitty, weird hippie uncle.
Yeah, there we go.
And it felt like a fucking blow straight to the nuts in the movies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give him some slack. I think he picks up his pace and his characterization later, in the last 3 movies for me. So whether or not you're going to end up going there, I don't know.
Yeah. When does he, I know he dies. He dies. Is it in the 6th book that I'm reading, or is he going to die early in the Deathly Hallows?
I want to say it's at the end of, the Half-Blood Prince.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Everything feels like it's tracking towards that.
He still visits him through the penance memories and things.
Okay,
to go to sort of deconstruct how he's going to deal with Voldemort.
Okay.
Harry still gets to sort of all of these things Dumbledore's sort of been preparing extra side things for his own death. His own death was foreseen. That's the power of Dumbledore, you know.
Yeah. I like
you'll come into that later, you know.
Yeah. Well, probably pretty soon, because we're getting pretty close to the end. I like the idea of the prophecy a little bit. I like that it comes from Professor Trelawney, who I know is not in this book, in this movie. I don't know. Does she show up in the movies at all?
Yes, she's a big role.
Okay, all right.
In the order.
Okay, yeah.
Her prophecies and stuff are all out on display and stuff, and the actress is fantastic.
Yeah, I think J.K. Rowling did a really great job with that character, because early on she's a fucking joke, you know, but she talks about how she comes from a long line of seers, and you're wondering why does Dumbledore keep this woman around? And she's completely ineffectual, but she will occasionally make an actual prophetic statement, but never remember it. She foretells that Wormtail's going to go and help Voldemort come back and all that stuff, and so there's
and it's true, and I think she also she legitimately channels Voldemort out of Harry by accident in some cases. So her, I don't know, her skill is it's almost latent, like you say. She seems ineffectual and stupid.
Yeah. So everybody gets good moments. I remember watching the Deathly Hollows, whatever. And I was really taken with it in the same way that I was really taken with like Pirates of the Caribbean or something. It really, I remember it being very clockwork, very organized. Everybody got a moment that made sense for them, either bad or good, and wrapped it. I recollect it wrapping up very neatly, and I wouldn't be surprised if I discovered that that was in fact the case, because everything's pretty smooth. Even little Neville. You end up wondering about Neville Longbottom and his his parents who were tortured into insanity. You're like, oh
yeah, and his family background's flushed out, and he even breaks through for his moments.
Yeah.
And you're a Mad Eye Moody naysayer. Is that true?
I am, yeah. I like Mad Eye Moody as a character, but I only liked him in the Goblet of Fire. And it turned out that it was Barty Crouch,
which means you're a Barty Crouch fan.
I think maybe, yeah. I really like Barty Crouch. Because every appearance of Mad Eye Moody after this in the books, he's like nothing. Like all that charisma and badass coolness or whatever is completely thrown away, like as if J.K. Rowling like lost interest in that. And it was discovered that Wolverine's awesome, but actually Wolverine is David Tennant, and actually Wolverine's not awesome. And David Tennant,
that's rough.
That's what I went through there. Yeah, it was very difficult. But throughout the book until I learned the truth, like I really liked Mad Eye Moody. I thought his I don't like how he was played in the movie because he's a little too wild, right? That's not how I pictured him in the books. I pictured him as much more like not moving so much, much more stoic. Whereas in the movies, like he's fucking he is what's that actor's name? Anyways, the actor playing. It felt like the actor playing.
Oh, Brendan Gleeson is.
Yeah, Brendan Gleeson. Yeah. It felt like Brendan Gleeson was playing David Tennant and doing a good job of it, but it felt like he was trying to be sort of Doctor Who-ish.
I did find that the film gave you a lot more in terms of hints to work with.
Oh yeah.
There was that he was Barty Crouch, or that they just Easter egged the shit out of you, and like you say, like the actors both sort of like left little tells that you could pick up right at the beginning of the film if you were careful.
Yeah.
That was going to be revealed, and the book didn't give you that.
No, it was pretty blindsiding. But the thing is, it's like a Nancy Drew movie or an Agatha Christie or whatever. Like you are given all the hints, but the way that they're put together, you might as well not have had all the hints. Like you're not honestly given what you need. All that it does is sort of like hint to stray comments that were made in the past. Like it ties together loosely to the extent that it needs to have the appearance of mystery.
Right. To have that appearance that you had like a set of clues to work with all the way along, but you weren't given the exposition. You weren't given what you needed to patch this all together until the very end, which is sort of a cheap, it's not.
Yeah, well, that's how it works, though. That, like, so far as I can tell, like, that's how mystery works. It's like you drop all these hints and you have all these dots everywhere, and then at the end someone connects all the dots, and even though you couldn't possibly have connected the dots on your own, there's a pleasure in having seen the dots be connected. Oh yeah, I remember when Snape was complaining about all those things being taken from his pantry, and this is why he explained Veritaserum, and everything's put on the table that you need for later, but it's there's no hope that you're really going to figure it out on your own. The Polyjuice potion. Yeah.
Don't lie to me.
Yeah.
Obviously stealing the show.
Wait, who? Sorry.
Snape.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, man, I love Alan Rickman. That's another situation where I can't read the book without hearing Alan Rickman's voice every time Snape speaks. What's funny to me going back to these movies now is like Alan Rickman's kind of chubby. His face is a little fat, like in the books, I still envision Snape being a little more gaunt, a little less well fed. But still though, Alan Rickman
he's so perfect for Alan Rickman's so great. I like that he like just physically abuses the students too. It's nice. It's like a bygone era thing. Just fucking slaps Ron in the fucking head. Just such an 80s thing.
Yeah, hits. I remember. Yeah, that stood out to me. Like hits Harry in the back of the head with a book.
Just fucking
hits
blasts him.
Yeah, multiple times because they're whispering in the hall. Like I don't think I don't think that those things occur in the book. It's played much more for comedy in this. Like whenever these stories can aim for, these movie adaptations can aim for comedy. Not that the books aren't funny, but it will aim towards comedy and it will add more action if it can. Like the Triwizard Tournament when Harry fights that dragon. That goes on a lot more than in the book. Like it's just Harry flying through its legs and grabbing its egg, essentially.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Oh, Alan Rickman. The which I get it. It's a movie. You're there to see moving pictures and stuff, and it's one of the things that is noticeable. Like between the first movie, which I think I said in the text feels like a Spielberg movie. It's kind of subdued. This movie, by the time you get to Goblet of Fire, things are a little more music video. They're a little flashier. Production values are a little higher. It's a lot more open.
Robert Pattinson's on the scene.
Right? Is this one of his earliest roles or something? Like what
it is, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because he barely has a role, really. Yeah.
And someone noticed his fucking face.
Beautiful face, and they were like, "Come with us, old beautiful Cedric."
Beautiful Cedric.
I fucking. Oh, you know what? I can't stand Quidditch. I hate.
Quidditch is like the aggressiveness that J.K. Rowling takes, trying to legitimize the creation of this stupid fucking idea. In just fucking washing you over with like rules and the importance of it and the fandom, and I like in a way I guess it's like it's whatever it is, it's a soccer analogy I guess, because we're talking about European people, right? And it's fucking painstaking though. It's too much. It's too much detail. I don't care that Harry plays for them. That doesn't even really fit into Harry's character. I don't know. I got beef with that too.
You got well, I don't know if it falls out of his character because he just loves playing Quidditch. The games they just go on forever, and the movies don't make them very interesting. It is, just least favorite part. I always groan when I turn the page and it's like. Like walking up the Quidditch pitch, and I'm like, "Fuck, Harry's just gonna end up in the emergency ward again." I like that. This isn't in this book, but when Lockhart, I wonder, did this make the movies when he like took all the bones from Harry's arm?
It did.
It did.
Yeah.
Right.
Hold on, Harry. I'll take care of this. No, not you. I think you're really gonna like the Lockhart actor now. He fucking nailed it. He came to play. Sorry, what do you think about Moaning Myrtle?
Oh, this fucking guy. All right. Moaning Myrtle is hilariously sexual.
I was actually talking to Kate about that. I find it hilarious that they somebody was making I was reading like reviews of like certain things, or like how Moaning Myrtle was like sexualized. Yeah. And they were joking around. They said, well, boy spying in bathroom creepy, girl spying in bathroom fun and empowering.
Right. Yeah. I guess. Yeah, but she really does like where like Harry gets in that is a weird scenario for Harry to have to be in this book, and also in this movie. The using the big bath, bubbled bath to unlock the mystery of the mermaids or whatever.
Yeah, not to mention I don't know if you noticed, like Cedric pitches it to him in like the weirdest, like most homoerotic way.
Oh, I do.
The upper tower is a fantastic place for a bath. If you catch my drift, it might be a good place to have a soak and mull things over. And I'm like, where's this going? And then and I remembered, he tells him to take the egg with him, but there's sort of like it's like 50-50 if Cedric was going to be there waiting for you, the way he pitched it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, something to think about.
Something to think about. I mean, I would have gone up there too. But.
Yeah. Well, it's patents. I mean, soccer, right? It's these guys play soccer. They all bathe together.
No. Pretty grimy shot at soccer there.
Yeah. Like this was kind of a weird choice. The Goblet of Fire is really like sort of a transitional story and movie, and like the cool stuff happens like afterwards, like the Order of Phoenix and Dolores Umbridge and stuff. She's such a fucking perfect villain. What a beauty.
Oh, she's worse than Voldemort.
Yeah, really evil. Like just when like she makes him write out, I won't tell lies, and like it's cutting his own hand. I'm like, J.K. Rowling, you're fucked.
Yeah, and he's like, they're just like gaslighting him that he's lying.
Mm-hmm.
While this nightmare, like fucking like Darth Vader just gave birth to himself and is like running around with a bunch of Nazis now.
Yeah. That birthing sequence was really hilarious. I was hoping it was a little, because when Wormtail cuts off his own hand in the book, it takes a lot, and he's squirming and twitching on the ground. Really fucked up by it. And in the movie, he just like, kind of haphazardly like cuts off his own hand and then holds the stump. The books were it was really grotesque. I was like, oh God.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, it was a real mess. And the movie doesn't, it doesn't make it
so
not
soft.
A mess.
Yeah, but it's like it's a lot easier.
Yeah. A lot of less squealing, a lot of less torture. Actually, I don't recall. Did he end up using the Cruciatus Curse on Harry?
No,
in the movie?
No. It's a lot of it's a much faster A/B. Sort of like they pin him to the statue, cut him, take his blood, have a laugh, dump the fetus.
Yeah.
And then fucking Ralph Fiennes comes in and does his thing.
Right. Yeah.
I want to look you in the eyes, Harry. Some say that he may have overacted, but I disagree.
You cannot overact like the character of the big bad gothic villain. What? I get maybe I'll disagree, but I don't, as I go through it, but I really don't feel that way. I think it was just the right pitch, because if you accuse him of that, then you got to accuse everybody of that,
Barty Crouch.
Yeah, Barty Crouch. Yeah, just everybody. I like the guy who plays Hagrid. I like Hagrid.
He's so fucking charming.
And he's a good character. He's a big, stupid, oaf, lovable old oaf. That's nice.
I like that Ron was a bit of a bitch in this movie, too. Like, evil Ron had a heel turn in this movie.
Yeah.
He's like, fucking sawed off, Harry, you fucking bastard.
Well, because is he jealous in the movie? Because he's definitely jealous in the book. Like he's starting to get.
Yeah,
really...
he's jealous. It's just getting a little tired. Harry, Harry. The fucking chosen one.
Yeah. But Ron, the Weasleys, they pull tail. I don't know what's up with the twins. Like they seem sort of like, they strike me as like, they'll get sex workers or whatever, and have a twin hangout with their sex workers.
Yeah, those guys are off the chains. And then there's also like a shitty Weasley too. That's like a
fuck Percy, right?
Percy's a baby bitch. Isn't Percy the fucking guy that chases around Peter Rabbit later in life too?
Oh, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Pretty sure it's the same actor.
Oh, okay. Wait,
anyway, he's a piece of shit. Peter Rabbit.
Peter Rabbit's a piece of shit too.
Yeah, and is he a Star Wars villain too? Or
no clue.
There's some Weasleys. There's some real fucking bad Weasleys out there, I'll tell you.
Yeah. I just I don't recall if he's gonna make like a face turn or if he stays a heel. But I mean, that sucks, man. When your son just becomes like working for the man, working for the like just blinded by bureaucracy, that's shitty.
That's the worst. Yeah. Ron Weasley and Ron Weasley's mom also underrated. Well, fucking warriors is what they are.
Yeah. Like all the Weasleys are exceptional, and so on the one hand, he's not as cool as Harry Potter, and that's fine. But you know, he too is exceptional, but he's really not. He's very brave, and he plays chess very well, and he's loyal, but ultimately he's pretty fucking dumb. You do wonder what Hermione
he's done him. He's a little simple. Yeah, that never tracked Hermione. And him
it didn't track for me. Yeah, it didn't. It kind of doesn't for me. But then I think about his brother Bill and pulling Fleur LeClaire. You know, like she's like a magic wizard, like a special sexy lady or whatever. Like
and it's maybe it's just all that. Maybe that's what it is. It's that's another commentary on bureaucracy, is that confidence shines brighter than intelligence.
That might apply for Harry Potter as well. He what a fucking scrapper. That's another pleasure of this book, is watching Harry Potter, like this fucking kid who in the books is much more annoying in the way that a 14-year-old would be. His stubbornness, like the contortions he goes through in order to do things or not do things.
In the same way that he wants to just pop off fucking Voldemort's name in class just to get heat. Like that's actually dumb and unnecessary.
Yeah. He's just raging.
Yeah, he just wants to fucking just sling shit. He's a fucker.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very, very willing to we don't need no education. He doesn't need any of that. And he won't give up. He goes through a lot. And pretty much he answers the riddle of the fucking Sphinx at the center.
Same thing with the challenges in the Goblet of Fire. Ron actually comes back around at the end of the movie and is like, "Listen, man, saw you fight that fucking dragon. Fair enough. We're bros again."
Yeah.
He's on the grind. He's like, you know what? Fuck it. If I have to do this, I'm gonna just get out there and try and do it. And he doesn't just try. Like when he's downtrodden and defeated, he just fucking claws for it.
Yeah.
Same thing at the end. You get that sweet moment at the end when he fights Voldemort. He fucking just walks out with his wand. Fuck this. I'm dead anyway. You just killed Cedric. Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's go toe to toe.
Yeah.
I'm
gonna go down fighting. Yeah, no, it's exactly what you want. It's a proper heroic moment for a boy. But he's also scared, and he's he gets anxiety, and it's a good hero character, and aside from, and he's very pure. He's not. He pines for Ron's sister, but he feels guilty because it's Ron's sister, and he doesn't want to betray his friend, and it's these high drama elements, but he's 14, and it'll probably be fine. They end up getting together, right? That's my memory.
Ron and Hermione.
Ron and Harry and Ginny, or does he end up with Chang?
Ginny? Yes, correct.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, the Weasleys, the women are successful too in pulling the heroes. And Hermione's rad. as she's a little annoying at the beginning, but she definitely grows and becomes enjoyable.
She's scrappy. They're all scrappy. That's the whole thing. Is they're like a motley crew. But but Hermione is the mind, man. The mind of the organization.
Yeah. And I like that she has like the book wants to sort of comment on things like slavery or whatever, and like, but they put the only criticism of, obviously Dumbledore is he's sort of progressive and enlightened, but in a really chill sort of way, and we don't see him pontificate about anything. Hermione's the shrill intellectual, and is treated as, like her efforts at social justice are laughable and ineffective. I just want to start this thing, spew. I think that
yeah, she's just like an aggressive, like almost like an aggressive like race feminist that everyone rolls their eyes at.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like, but they still want to hang out with her because she's like, I'm not sure why exactly. I think they love her because she's helpful with things and she's supportive and she's also reliable. Like I like the moment when they come together as friends is like she lies about the troll early in the castle or whatever, and like she takes the heat, saying, it was my fault and I'm the one that I was going to do this, and I think in that moment they just like, okay, we got each other's back.
Yeah, and she's also there's sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But she's their like rock also, but she just, oh man, I had the direction for this. Sorry.
No, that's okay. She is a rock. Like they, yeah, it's better when the schism that happens between Hermione and Ron as their romance bubbles, it's not the worst thing, but it is a little frustrating. It goes on for quite a while, I know why they do it, but in the tradition of romance, will they, won't they? Why don't they just say what they're feeling? I can't wait till they do, building up that tension. But
yeah, and there's a weird, like, there's a love triangle aspect to it too, where you're not really sure, like, but the movie does a little more injustice to that as well, because they sort of like, I feel like Ginny gets sort of a little dirty in the movies, where like she's sort of not as included outside of just like standing there once in a while.
Yeah, I think I remember that. She doesn't really develop as a character, and she's not even like the actress doesn't have a stage presence, or same thing with Cho Chang. All these people that.
Yeah, exactly. The actresses, well, I shouldn't harp on the actress because I don't know what fucking lines she was given. She was given probably 2 fucking lines, and they're gonna focus on the core 3 because they're trying to drive like screen time and things like that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So, of the characters, they're scrappy. They got each other's back. It's rad. They're solving mysteries. Hermione's mostly solving the mystery.
Yeah, she's the only one that's she's the only one that has foresight, really, that of the group, that sees like, where they're overstepping or what they should and shouldn't be doing.
Yeah, and is the one who sees through the propaganda in the newspaper. She's really the on the one hand, she's the shrill, progressive, critical voice, or social justice voice, whatever. But on the other hand, she's also like, it would be very annoying if she was just shrill, but she's like an astute analyst of circumstances. And like you said, she has foresight. She goes into people's heads. She games things out whenever Harry's like fucking going off on Draco Malfoy. Draco Malfoy. And then, speaking of Draco Malfoy, that guy's such a fucking, that perfect little fucking shitty kid.
He's a casting gem.
Mm-hmm. What a lightning strike, like, to get all these, like, because you already said this, but like to get Daniel Radcliffe so young, and Rupert Grint and Emma Watson, and just watch them grow, and have them not shit the bed, which could have easily happened.
It's true.
Yeah.
You could have easily, there's a number of things that could have happened. Like only one of which is like fucking drug problems or people not towing the line or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, these guys all kind of hunkered down and whatever, they knew what they had, and that was the same sort of, feeling on the Voldemort portrayal, is that just like, I don't know, for whatever reason he was sure he had something, so he brought his A game.
Yeah. I mean, Ralph's always showing up with his A game. He's
such a fucking
one of the greats.
Ralph's he's not underrated because he's well loved and well respected, but definitely, like, I hesitate to, I don't know, he's got to be up there in a handful of actors in this generation that there aren't better people.
Mm-hmm. He's not married. Oh, good. We can swoop in there, buddy. He used to be married. Ralph Fiennes. He was married to Alex Kingston, the lady who played the Doctor's wife in Doctor Who. What's her name? Fuck. Whatever her fucking name is. Sorry, River Song. Yeah. And
he was married to River Song?
Yeah, for 4 years, says Wikipedia. I don't. He's currently in a long-term relationship. No, 2006. So that's gone. Who knows? Man. We can. You too can sleep with Ralph Fiennes right now.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like that'd be.
He's a little outside your range. Like out of your league. Sorry, man.
That's probably true. I really don't know what I would. You can be honest. I don't know what I'd bring to the table.
And I don't know what you would talk about, because you'd see him at the bar and you'd be like, oh, who's this? And then you would, would you buy a drink for him and have it the bartender?
Yeah, I mean, like, would I swoon over him? I don't know. Would that be that? I don't know if that would work for him. I
don't think so.
What if he was doing like one of those roles where he's, that'd be my best bet if he was doing character acting.
Oh, and he needed to be like in a
maybe
particular...
maybe he was like, like low balling it,
Okay.
For
playing
a
character. Yeah. So he's just out there and he's like, I got to do some meth. I gotta. It's really wilding out, getting out of hand, and maybe you got a shot. Otherwise he seems very disciplined to me. I think that's why he's a single man, because he's married to the stage, I think.
I think it'd be a tall order to I wonder if he's funny.
He's got a great smile. He must be funny.
Really?
Well, you don't think so? Look at that charming smile. He's just showing all them teeth. He doesn't at all look like he is bored with your existence. Yeah.
I scored us a couple great pictures for the thumbnail for this episode too, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
Set them to you.
Yeah. Well, so I guess since we kind of gamed out how we would date Ralph Fiennes, maybe we're done.
Yeah, that could be the end.
I don't know. This is like, as much as I'm enjoying the franchise and going through it, like, I'm not really enjoying it. I'm not gaining. And not in the way that I really enjoyed Tolkien and the Lord of the Rings. Like, so many of those moments in that book were like, fuck yeah. Like, I only read the third one, but it was really exciting action and cool shit and big. And this is very, like I already said, very small, very Nancy Drew. Even when it aims towards size, it's still contained only within Hogwarts.
Well, it's a classroom versus open war. They're not playing in the same league.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they're really not, and but yet they are in the same. They're playing the same fantasy games. This is just like a different version of it, just a different version. Yeah, just as a contrast, like what other big fantasy thing is there other than I guess at this point Game of Thrones maybe goes up there as far as bigness.
Twilight.
That's a vampire story. Like that's not like a fantasy story. I mean, like they share something in common, but it's sort of like a romantic gothic tale rather than like this is epic fantasy. Like there's trolls and stuff. Like, am I wrong? Are there trolls in Twilight?
There are trolls. There are no trolls in Twilight. You're correct.
Okay, well there we go. No
Only
elves.
Vampires.
Just no vampires elves. And werewolves.
Yeah, so Game of Thrones maybe is as close as you'll get to like a universe that has, supernatural creatures and race wars and whatever else.
Yeah, they really don't need a race war element, don't they? Like that is a strange through line, maybe actually I don't know enough about Game of Thrones, but
you know what, it's just something that's easy to whatever it adds realism. Hilariously enough is just easy to swallow, easy to believe.
Yeah, interesting. I'm gonna have to ponder that. You have to think about that. Which is more than the books deserve. I don't know. I don't know. That was an unfair statement, but because these are fun. I just talked about how these things are fun and they're fun, and I'm looking forward to wrapping it up and figuring out what's next. Probably I'll watch the rest of the movies too with the kid. Now that we watched the first one, I think he'll want to eventually go down all these roads.
May as well.
Yeah, and then maybe
get yourself a Blu. I got Kate a Blu-ray set for like $40 on Amazon Days or something. The whole fucking shebang. There you go.
Right.
It won't go bad. Yeah.
Yeah, but then I'm gonna have to like have it around the house. I don't know.
Honestly, just put. You know what? Here's a through line for you. Just be proud of it, like your sword.
Just own it. Yeah. Just. All right.
Now all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.